Hey, what's going on, lovely people? It's Edwin Jack here, aka Eddie Winback, and I'm going to share a little story with y'all and some thoughts I have on some challenges in the gaming, filming, animation, television industry. Okay, so the first thing is, I'll share a bit of a backstory with you. All right, so I worked at AAA, for a AAA game studio, and it was really great experience. I worked for some indie companies too, but particularly with my AAA experience, um, I had got laid off. Okay, and during this layoff, I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to move out of my apartment. I'm gonna have to get a room somewhere, and which I did. I had to move to this room in an unfinished basement. I called it the dungeon. So I had to move in the dungeon, and it was a lot cheaper than the rent where I was in my apartment. And at the time I was like, okay, financially I could fall back on unemployment. I got laid off, so I should be eligible, right? Well, hit up unemployment, and I end up getting screwed, by the, they told me some BS of why I couldn't get unemployment. So I was in a freaking pool of poop at that point. I was like, dang, man, I'm in this pool of dookie. This is not good. Like, my finances is not great right now. Like, I was freaking paying, what your average college graduate paying, rent, paying for food, bills, freaking student loans, all type of stuff, right? So I didn't really have any, bread saved up. I just had like a little bit of money in my account, and that little bit of money got me the room that I moved into. So during this time, I saw a lot of my colleagues that got laid off as well that had families. Like, I was single, you know what I mean? And I'm still single. And, I didn't have a wife, I didn't have kids, okay? But some of my colleagues, they had wives, husbands, kids. Some of them had just bought a new home. I was like, dude, this sucks, man. Like, what do they have to fall back on? Some of them got screwed with unemployment too. So it's like, one issue in the industry, whether you're a programmer, whether you're a 2D artist, 3D artist, audio engineer, composer, visual effects artist. One issue that I feel that's in our industry, or in the entertainment industry, specifically game development, is there really isn't any residual income options for us. There's not a lot of options to, if you get laid off or a project is over or something like that, that you really have to fall back on. And unless you're really in a high income range, it's kind of difficult to save money to have a cushion to fall back on. So, this is I feel like this is an issue, and the second issue that I'm about to touch on is connected to that, which is the crunch. Okay, I know a lot of you hear that word, crunch, crunch, crunch. Well, it is regular in our industry, and I think that's an issue. Okay, crunch. Like, there are studios who are like, people, I've heard stories from people like, oh man, I've had to put in 70 plus hours this week. I had to put in plus 50 hours, on top of my, what I'm already doing or whatever. And it's just like, man, that sucks, because a lot of people are like, I'm losing time to spend with my family. I'm getting sick. I'm getting drained out, burned out. I don't want to, create anymore. And it's like, this is, if you're working in your passion job, right? Like your passion career path or whatever, like you should love it, right? You should be enjoying it. Yeah, there'll be challenging times, but you should ultimately be enjoying it. That's why you work so hard to get better at the skills that what you have to be able to get to that point, right? So, this is another issue that I feel like we have in the industry. Okay, and that's connected with the residual income thing that I was talking about, because it's like, dog, if you put in that much time and grind for a company like that, like, there gotta be something to fall back on. There gotta be some type of, a salary and some health benefits, dental and all that, that's not enough, man, for how much people's lives y'all be putting into these projects, man. So yeah, so bare hand, being in indie studio, I said, man, we want to do something different than that. I don't believe in that system. My teammates don't believe in that system and that culture. And we was like, man, we want to steer away from that. And we're more driven by our faith, and have more trust in our faith, and we take action in our faith. You know what I mean? And we said, with this project right now, it's like, okay, we don't have the big bucks, right? So it's like, I'm like, okay, well, let me rephrase that. I physically do not hold the big bucks, but I believe internally that we are wealthy, and that we have all we need internally to get to that point. Okay, but right now, physically in hand, we don't have. I don't hold $1 million budget, right? So I'm like, man, I'm trying to think of some innovative ways to combat that, right? Combat the residual income thing, combat the crunch, and also work on a project that we're passionate about. Okay. So I was talking to a buddy in the industry, and we were chatting. We were like, man, what if there was like a system in place, or a tool, a platform where people contribute time and get points back from it? And they contribute time whenever they want, and it's not like a full-time job or something, and it's task based. And I was like, man, that'd be great, like, but that takes so much time for me to develop that, and my team to develop that. Like, I don't know, like, we're already working on seed. And so I started doing some research, and I actually found a platform that's relatively new, that is already doing this. And that platform is called Crowdsourcer.io. And I was like, this is perfect. This is it. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This combats the residual income thing, the finances for developers to fall back on. This solves that issue. And it also solves the crunch issue, because the creator determines what time they want to put into it. This is different. It's different from a revenue share model, because from revenue share models, what I've seen is that it requires you to be on a contract that you're working full-time, 40 hours or whatever a week, with no upfront pay. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's logical, because people got bills, man. They got obligations. You know what I mean? They got to feed their family. They got to pay for the mortgage or whatever, the rent. And I just don't think that's fair, to try to tell somebody, hey, look, go find, funds while you work full time, or sell your house. I've heard the stories of developers sell their house or whatever, right? And that's scary. So, this platform, I'm like, cool, people can contribute time and do a task, and as long as all their tasks are complete, they can leave and come back, and their points will always be theirs. And when a project brings in revenue, that person, depending on how much they put in, they get out of it. Okay. So, I think this is very revolutionary. I think it given that it's done right, that it's going to change a lot of the culture in the gaming industry, because, there's just so many. I mean, I talked about a few cases, and just the studios I was working for, but this is bigger than me, and it's bigger than that. You know what I mean? It's a huge issue that I think needs to be addressed. So if you're out there and you want to start a project and you don't have the upfront funds to do that, but you're super passionate about what you're doing, and people who will be willing to give you a day here or evening here or weekend there or whatever, check out this platform, man. I'm telling you, this is something that I found for bare hand for us to jump onto, and for us to use as a tool, because that's pretty much our background. A lot of our people who've gotten the game to where it is put a lot of time in just because they're passionate, just because they believe in it and they like the connection it has with them, and there's plenty of people out there like that who want to work on your projects too. So, don't let money stop you from, making what you love and what you're doing. Don't let that stop you. If you have big dreams, you have a big vision, go for it. This is a tool for you to use, and check it out. All right. So my last thing is, that I'm going to announce is that, for Seed, we are looking for contributors. Okay. We're looking for 2D artists, 3D artists. We're looking for audio engineers. We're looking for composers. We're looking for engineers, programmers. We're looking for QA testers, all type of disciplines. We're looking for that right now on crowdsourcer.io. We just ran our Kickstarter campaign, and we're in the end days. And, we reached our funding goal for that. And what we're doing is we're combining the funding from that with our crowdsourcer.io strategy. And we'll be using the funding to pay for upfront assets that we need ASAP. And, along with Crowdsourcer points. And this is pretty much, we're going to release the game in an early access model where we're releasing chunks of the game. And so, the plan is to get the game out and hopefully bring in some revenue. So if you're interested, this is totally something. If you're passionate, we're looking for passionate people. We believe that, the passion comes first, the money will come second. All right. That's how we've gotten this far, to be honest, is our faith and our passion. So if you're passionate, you like what we're doing, hit me up. My email is edwin@barehand.co. And you can also reach out to me on crowdsourcer.io. And if you know anybody that's talented or skilled in their craft or their discipline, refer them to me. All right. I appreciate y'all checking out this video. I just wanted to share some information with y'all. Like I said, you could use it for yourself, or, something you want to start a project or that you're already running, or you can get involved with us, or you can get involved with us. That's the beauty of it. You can, contribute to our project however much you want. And maybe there's stuff that you've already done that, you can contribute to the project, tools or art. And, also on Crowdsourcer, one last thing is that you also get to keep rights to what you create. There's rights that you can keep to what you create. So if you're a programmer, you build a tool for our game, we get to use whatever tool you made, but it's yours. So, that's another thing, it's that part, like, for a lot of these studios and stuff, like, sometimes you can't even share your portfolio or what you've built because there's such strict restrictions of, what they will allow. They're like, nah, once you make this, it's ours. But on Crowdsourcer, the founder really believed that, like, hey, like, you put so much time into something, it may not guarantee that you'll, get revenue out of it. So we want to allow people to have some type of rights to what they made so they can take it elsewhere. Okay. So I appreciate y'all checking out this video. I'm about to head back to my desk. Peace, love, and blessings. I'm out.